That's mine. That's mine.
How's everybody?
Hey, Ray. Hey, what have you seen from this group since you found out you were in? How are they treating this week and preparing for what's ahead?
Yeah, they've been, I think at some level, they were preparing for this. I know we didn't know until we knew, but I think over the last few weeks, we've talked about being ready to compete and practice in December. And there's going to just be a select group of teams that do that. So, we saw a lot of joy once our name come up, but I think that was the expectation this year going in. There was times where it looked like it was getting away from us a little bit, but then about when that would happen, we'd reel it back in and do what we needed to do. So it's a quick turnaround playing on a Thursday. I'm glad it's just a bus trip. So the scout we'll put the scout in a little sooner. There's some of those things that'll be a little bit different, but we'll treat it like the best we can. We'll treat it like any other week, preparing for a good team.
Hey, Ray, I was just wondering, going into the announcement that you all had that you were all going to get to go to the NCAA tournament, I guess, did you have nerves? Did you feel like it was sort of going either way, or were you confident that you all would hear your names called that day?
Yeah, I turned to my assistant coach, Billy Ebel, before we started the match on Saturday, and I said, I think we need to win this to get in. And he looked at me like, really? I said, yeah. But, that's just how coaches are. Because I think everybody that's doing the logistics of it thought, a split would make it happen. But after we looked at our RPI go to 34, after we looked at 5 top 50 wins, after we looked at, we won 4 matches in a row, and after we looked at the Big 12 being the number 1 RPI conference in the country, I thought it'd be really, really difficult for us to not be included. So it was a long day. Show didn't get there till 7:30. Then obviously they don't show our half the bracket till 8 o'clock. But we felt like we were in really good shape.
Ray, what can you say about your freshman class? Obviously they have talent, but their roles are pretty big too. And have you had many like this that have that many that play that big of a role?
I stopped them after practice yesterday. The 4 of them were there, and I said, "You guys like each other, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, we really do." And I said, this group, regardless of how many awards you win or how many records you set or what you statistically, however you stand out, I think they've got the exact mindset. They've created the culture within that group that can sustain itself for a long time. And I know, Matt, we talked about that a little bit. Sustainability is the key in this business. And we've got a group, you talk about London a lot, you talk about Cam a lot, and obviously Caroline Bean, but Bryn McGee hasn't played yet. And she's got as great a work ethic and as good a culture as any of those other 3. So that collective group will do great things over time. And I talked to him yesterday about, we've got a couple coming in, a couple of recruits joining us early in January. I said, I want that group of 4 to spend a lot of time with them, because they'll pass the message on, and they'll create the type of conversations we need to have to sustain that type of culture that those 4 believe in.
Did you expect them to have this big of an impact year one?
Yeah, we thought Caroline Bean would for sure.
Yeah.
We thought Cameron Turner would develop given time. She was a multi-faceted club player and high school player, and now she's focusing on one skill. We think she can become elite at that. And we knew London Davis would create offense for her. She's got a big arm. What we didn't know about London is how great a kid she is. And we knew some of those things, but just, boy, high-level teammate. If she's not out there, she's cheering for Neshka. And if she's out there, she's helping her team win. So there's been some things we thought would happen, and then there's been some pleasant surprises out of that group too.
Yeah, just the last one for me. What can you tell us about Oregon? I'm sure you've looked at them a lot in the last couple of days. I know so much of success at this point is what you guys do, but what challenges do they present, and what's their big strengths and weaknesses?
Well, they're getting healthy. They haven't been healthy all year, and it looks like they're finally getting everybody back. And offensively, they're pretty dynamic. They got a young lady on the outside. I guess she's their version of kind of our Caroline Bean, because she started as libero, and now she's leading the Pac-12 probably in kills almost. So, but they offensively they're pretty high risk. They fly around, and they create a lot of patterns, which is a little bit different than what we've seen. And then the physicality of their league is good too. And they're probably a little bit upset because they felt like maybe they could have been a first round host themselves. So I'm sure they'll come in here with something to prove. But hey, that's what the NCAA tournament's about. We think it's a good matchup. The players mentioned 1 point at a time and taking care of what's going on our side of the net, and see where that leads us to.
So can there be, you guys got yourselves into a tough spot there in October, losing a few matches, and you really had to go on this streak, right, to get yourself in this position now. Can there be some kind of advantage to be said for you had to play, your team had to play at a top level and really keep it going for an extended period, win 4 in a row, carrying some momentum in now as opposed to
Yeah, I think the players, I mean, we didn't make a big deal of it, but obviously as you listen to the players talk, they knew what was on the line, and to respond the way they did on the road against an in-state rival, I think speaks to some competitive maturity that's starting to happen. And we're hopeful that we got a little bit of juice left from that last weekend, a little momentum that'll carry into this weekend. We know we start again, it's a new team, new scout, but certainly we gained some competitive confidence over the last 2-3 weeks of the season.
Ray, I know that 5-set match against Texas was a tough one for you all. Like, did you feel that was a tough one to get over because of the slide that happened, at least results-wise, after that match, or was that simply going against other high-profile competition in the Big 12, and then eventually you all got some wins?
So we take Texas 5 and have a chance, and then who do we get to play the next day? Oh, the #1 team in the country, Texas. Okay, great. And then we follow that up with Baylor, back-to-back, #5 team in the country. So if you look at, at West Virginia, I don't think we're playing our very best volleyball. I think we kind of hit the wall there a little bit, but those are all NCAA tournament teams. I think the one match that we thought that might bite us a little bit was the first night against Oklahoma, when we had a chance to win that, and we didn't. I think there was a feeling after that hey, we really botched an opportunity there, but we rebounded, won the second night. And then TCU had been playing really well when they came in here. We handled that situation, then at K-State, obviously. So I think that the Texas match gave us an idea of, and that's over an extended period of time. And we statted point for point with them over 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. And other than their loss to Baylor, nobody else has done that. So I think that was a sign of, hey, we can create a really good narrative here if we can consistently put some of those moments closer together. We're good?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you joining us today, guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.